Hello and welcome to the Collapse Experiment, where today, another part of our Ed Piskor series, and we're back on this Claire Napier, this fugly chick from the UK, who decided that she was going to tell everybody how we should remember Ed, where clearly this was just an attempt for some clout with the Whisper Network. And she's getting a bunch of pushback. And a lot of the pushback is actually from Ed's family. So, being in charge of his estate, making sure that he is remembered the way that they want him to be remembered, which is not as the how would you put it? The criminal that everyone in this group tries to say that he was, although he was never charged, never sued. It was basically a bunch of high school bullies on the playground constantly pestering him with no escape, no way out. So yeah, we're back on Claire's X account, where she has read a bunch of Blade the Immortal this weekend. Wow. Okay, so we're back to she puts this post out and she's back to the bullshit. This is what I had for breakfast tweets. But she did say I have updated the article to reflect this. This is regarding her use of the term dropped out. Because she's in the UK, it means something different than how it than the definition used in the States. So yeah, she's putting her own input into a story in another country, and she doesn't consider the use of language, which, as some people have already pointed out, her article is very poorly written. It's the country that created the English language. She has not perfected the language. I understand that it may have seemed like an intentional insult. It was not. I call bullshit because the entire article was intended as a fucking insult. No, she's trying to pull back. She's trying to get some of that moral clout back that she had lost with this being pointed out. Honestly, I think whoever is encouraging a dead guy's family to read and respond to articles about his professional conduct is a cruel lunatic. You know who the lunatic is? The person who wrote the fucking article and then posted it to the public so that the family could find it. That's who the lunatic is. You take no personal responsibility for what you have done. Oh, here's my comment. Claire Napier can eat a dick. This is in regards to her bitching about a t-shirt that Ed had sold 5 years ago. 5 years ago! On his website, comics, kayfabe, where it was a joke. It was an inside joke for him and his audience. She had an issue with that. So I just, this was my way of saying, hey, I read your bullshit. And not only can that guy eat a dick, but you can too. And she says, well, incredibly well, actually. I don't know. With that face, she must be into Famunda cheese, because I can't imagine somebody who cares about how they look wanting that on their stuff. I'm just saying. Like, the math doesn't add up. The algebra in that equation does not add up. There's some Famunda cheese happening there. Okay, obviously related tangent, but it's happened before as well. When you're mad at someone because you're personally involved in the situation they're criticizing. Okay, I'm going to stop there where this comma is. She put herself in a situation that other people are personally involved in. And here she is bitching about those people commenting on her article. You should introduce yourself as you begin to engage with them, or you seem incredibly wild. Who the fuck is the wild one here? You wrote about a subject that everybody has pointed out since then you know nothing about. You did very little, if any, research whatsoever. One podcast that is linked in your article, and one interview from 2013. That was it. That was all you used. Offline over the weekend, it seems that my use of dropped out to mean stopped attending the physical site or high school is culturally inappropriate in the U.S. Yeah, no shit. Again, you're writing about shit you don't know. And here is the fabled Piskor in Retrospect article that has everybody in an uproar. So, yeah, apparently she did update the article. And if there's actually something I want to see here. Because earlier I was listening to your boy Zach. He was reading it. And I think, so she added this. But there was another part as well towards the end where it seemed like she was talking about the family. And I don't remember that being something about where she mentions the estate. So, hold on for a sec. Okay, so I was wrong. This part was already in there. Supported by those who control his estate. This was regarding trying to say that the family is going to act like a bunch of mass murderers if they follow his final note regarding going after the people he deemed responsible for his murder. So yeah, no, that was already in there. But yeah, I don't recall that being in there before, but whatever. So yeah, now we have my response, which I felt like needed to be said. This is the Whisper Network in Retrospect. Posted it on Twitter, X, and anyways, fuck it. Let's just get into this. This is not an article for the easily offended, the pronoun squad, or the Rainbow Army. If you are a part of a social justice circle, sit this one out. Keep in mind your feelings do not matter. You are not as important as you think you are. Reflect on what you have accomplished in your life. Yeah, before we get into the ghouls in question, we should first address who Ed Piskor was. As a man, he already had a target on his back. Being straight only made it worse. Add in the fact that he was a walking encyclopedia of comics, media, and history, and you now have a formidable opponent that could steal the limelight from those who think they earned it while they never put in the time or effort. Ed wasn't just an artist, but someone who learned every aspect of the craft. Pencils, ink, shading, lettering, page layout, coloring. There wasn't a job that Ed could not do in comics, and that is what pissed off the Whisper Network. Who are these comic industry Illuminati with too much free time and no comics in their bibliography that a casual collector could name? The left-wing, feminist, rainbow flag sexual Puritans who think they are the high priest of all things comics include the likes of Alex DeCampi, Ramon Villalobos, Molly Wright, Daryl Io Braithwaite, Cam Del Rosario, J.B. Rowe, and Evan Dorkin, to name a few. These are not professional comic artists or writers, but professional shit talkers who try to beat down those who are better than them instead of trying to improve their own art. If they put as much work and attention into their careers as they put into sending a man into his grave, perhaps the comic industry wouldn't be on life support. While most of these people are Gen X or millennials, their work ethic is that of Gen Z twerps who expect all the fame and glory for doing the absolute bare minimum of work. By work, I mean not being on Twitter. The notion that someone thinks they have the ability to tell friends, fans, and family how someone special to them should be remembered as a glaring example of psychopathic ego who is only interested in their own gains. The article in question wasn't about Ed at all, but to shine a spotlight on the writer, and I use that term loosely, in hopes of gaining the good graces of the Whisper Network and possibly being handed work in the industry for a job well done. I don't know if Claire Napier joined in on the initial assault on Ed, but she found it fitting to attack him after he had been gone for 3 months. So brave. If this scenario played out in a battlefield, Claire would be the soldier cringing in a trench while everyone is fighting only to pop up at the last minute to put a bullet into a corpse, pretending she was in the fight all along. There's no glory or lesson in what she did. Putting all the blame on Ed for his death is another play that the mentally ill do in order to take the focus off themselves. By gaslighting their audience, the hope is to reclaim the moral purity that has been stained by what they did. No matter how hard they try to scrub, wash, bleach that stain away, it'll always be there. That white dress is ruined forever. Molly Dwyer has reappeared on the scene, putting her Instagram account back up, but making sure that it is kept private. After all, she did lead the charge on killing a man. For someone who did nothing wrong in her own eyes, she felt the need to change her profile pic after deleting her account and setting it to private so that she could only be contacted by those she approved of first. Had she known the level of work that was involved in chasing clout by making false accusations about someone, perhaps she would have chosen a different path. That is the play of the radical left, always taking what appears to be the easiest path because it is easier to tear something down that has already been built than it is to create something of your own. The industry isn't filled with creatives and people with imaginations. Instead, it is infested with ideologues and cult members who are intent on spreading their message that nobody asked for, like the local Jehovah's Witnesses. Like the comics on the shelves today, this isn't the Jesus we were looking for. Perhaps the next time some bungling dotard decides to write a piece about how others should think about something they themselves know nothing about, they could read or listen to more than one article or podcast and maybe see if they can find something that isn't from over 10 years ago. Ed has a long list of comics kayfabe on YouTube that were not used, recent interviews with other channels and podcasts regarding Red Room and Hip Hop Family Tree, but instead we are handed the dregs of material slapped together from a time that Ed wasn't as confident as he had become over the years. A vulnerable Ed Piskor is what was examined, and his life beyond that point wasn't even considered. Too many issues would have arisen if Claire had taken the high road. She might have learned about Ed being part of the Whisper Network, which at the time might have appeared to be the safer path for him, but in the end biting him in the ass instead. The left doesn't care how hard you try to be a better man. The fact that you are a man is already an issue, and Ramon Villalobos will find that out one day. There is no road to redemption. There isn't an out when accusations start to fly. The purpose of these campaigns is to ruin the life of the person it focuses on and end in either unemployment or death. The notion that there is another path than the one that Ed took consideration in is false. There wasn't a class he could have taken, an apology he could have written that would have made it stop. Ed had been working at being a better person by the standards of those that attacked him in the end, not knowing that it would never have been good enough. While Ed's career could have helped raise all ships in the sea of comics and help bring the industry into the social spotlight again, those in charge of the ship continue to aim their own Titanic into any ship and iceberg they can find in hopes that if they destroy enough careers, theirs will be the last one standing that someone will care about. Even if it is the reputation of a dead man, they will try to sink that ship with no thought they might sink their own. So yeah, this is my response to Claire Napier. You can find this at the Collapse Experiment on Substack. And it's just a bunch of stuff that had to be said. Like, these people are freaking insane. And again, here's more sexual content on her Twitter. And as other people have pointed out, her drawing is just god awful. Like, what is this? Why is this dude biting this chick? I don't understand. Like, keep your fetishes to yourself. We don't need it in our local libraries or on the shelves of the bookstores. Oh, what is this? More Palestinian bullshit? Don't care. So yeah. Oh, look. Yeah. Okay. Just what I needed. Demon dick. This is what we are dealing with. So for some reason, she shares. It's crazy. Nobody seemed to have known that. Yeah, I already knew that Bruce Lee was a child actor. That was nothing new. That's why he went back over to Hong Kong to star in a bunch of movies to try to get back into the American movie industry after the Green Hornet fumbled and Kung Fu ended up being starred by somebody else other than Bruce because he was too Asian. Yeah, you're. These people, we're so smart. We came across this shit that other people have found 20, 30 years ago. And she's got like some weird Baywatch movie here that she thinks people should be interested in. Criminal Passion. Okay. Yeah. So anyways, this chick. So apparently Ed's brother and his sister-in-law have been railing against this chick, as is deserved. And she of course, she talks about personal responsibility. Well, Ed was responsible for what happened, but she takes no responsibility for herself, which is usually how it goes, right? And I believe his sister might have actually said something too, but I haven't seen that on here yet. Let's actually, before I check out here, let's, yeah, this is Witch of Wonder. I believe this is Ed's sister-in-law. She had a DM back and forth with the psycho in question. Yeah, some more correspondence. Imagine getting this worked up over colored pencil names. Mission accomplished. Let's see here. What is this? Is this a review on one of her books? Let's find out. Oh, no. This is a review. Be very careful in buying this product. These pencils are widely offensive and not funny at all. Some were, but the others are so offensive I was completely mortified as I had given them as a, I'm guessing, gift. So what? She had an issue with colored pencils? Not surprised. Okay, Bobby Potter Piskor. Yeah, him putting his 2 cents in. Yeah, and here's where I point out if Claire's definitely an unemployed critic looking for any attention to get her some work. If she was so good at her job, she wouldn't have written this fiction for free. It's true. You go to her website right now and she's like, available for hire. This is so disgusting. You wrote about my brother. What you wrote about my brother is nothing but false information. From the first line about being a high school dropout, it's all untrue. The damage is done. My brother died. Let our family grieve. I wouldn't have been that polite. I basically would have told her to fuck off. This is some dickhead that's saying that she's really brave and intelligent. No. Fucking make me puke. All right. And, yeah, there's just a bunch of people giving her shit, and there's occasionally, you have such a talent for saying the right words, Claire. Who the hell are these people? Tell the world you're an ass kisser without saying you're an ass kisser. Yeah. I don't I don't understand. And I've been blocked by this person. Your version of importance is a really low bar. They were trying to say like how important this piece is, and apparently it'll like go down in history. I hope it'll go down in flames, is what I hope it will do. I say this gently. Did you know how he behaved? Because honestly, that's the thing that can impact the world. Grief is personal, and I'm sorry for that. Standards of behavior are social. So why are you being an asshole, Claire? Why? I mean, you've got all these people. You have society right here on Twitter telling you this is not good. You're being a dick. You should eat a dick. And yet, you're more concerned about your peers in your own small, itty bitty, teeny tiny social network as opposed to the whole, which is telling you this was wrong. But no, it doesn't apply to you. Your own words do not, your rules do not apply to you. It's about how you feel and stuff. This is a sample of her professional writing, and I can see why she's unemployed. Yeah. Some really useful perspective and context. Grateful for this addition to the discourse. Grateful for this addition to the discourse, such as it's been. Okay, Kim O'Connor. O'Connor. Yeah, Ireland deserves to be occupied. Yeah, stay over on the pond, and hopefully we won't bail you out next time. Personal lives offer personal compassion. Professional ones must offer professional compassion. What the is this? The mental gymnastics of these douchebags. As in, move to create an equal space for all workers. No, you fucking earn it. You do nothing to earn it. You put in the work is what you do. You earn your spot. It's not just given to you because, well, we're all here. No, there's some people who don't do jack shit. There's no equal space for incompetent assholes that don't do the work. As in, say, replicating normal systems of prejudice is not correct here. Normal systems of prejudice, meaning I should get as much credit as the other person who did all the work. That's what they want. That's what this is referring to. It's not prejudice. It's the fact that you didn't do shit to earn it. That's what you're so angry about. This dude lived isolated. He studied all the time. He continued his improving on his work. Why is it whenever I look at your stuff, I can't tell what the f is going on in your pictures? Could you work on that? Could you improve a little bit? Maybe somebody in the industry will give you a little more space. I don't know. But you haven't earned it, and you've been at this since, for how long now? I'm sorry. Oh, since birth? Is that what you had on your website? I've been a comic illustrator and artist since birth. No, you haven't. If you have, your work wouldn't look like shit. Enough is enough. Please stop. I agree. I think if you had any respect for Ed and his family, you'd keep his fucking name out of his fucking mouth. Yeah. I have to agree with this. I'm pretty sure I read that in the tone that it was probably typed in. Ed sexualized a cosplayer. Oh, okay. And what? Who dressed up as the most sexiest pop culture character she could find. That's hard to do. What? I don't... This dude has a PhD, and he either contradicts himself or he writes so horribly. It's bad enough you can't read a doctor's handwriting. The dude is now typing it out, and you still can't decipher what the hell he's trying to say. One that regards life drawing as misconduct, but is proud to have hung out with an author charged with sexual assault. To boot, yes. Let's yearn together. again, I have no idea what the hell this guy is saying. Donald E. Simpson, PhD. I- Okay, what is he? Writer, artist, teacher, learner, cartoonist, creator of Megaton Man. I remember Megaton Man and Border Worlds. I do remember Megaton Man. I don't know what he has a PhD in because he's listing all these things. Can you get a PhD in cartooning or art? I'm sure you probably can. Why writing wasn't a part of that, I don't know. I have no idea what he's saying here. How to improve the social dynamics of comic book industry. Libel. This is disgusting. I hope you're happy with the attention you are receiving by writing a hit piece of a dead man. Yup. Anyways, let's just end there. The family is on top of it. They're giving her a ton of shit, as they should be. Anything else going on here? No. Just the usual. People finding some of the comments I made. Yeah. So anyways, that's about it. That's the piece that I wrote in response. I don't know. She already responded to one thing, retweeting something that I posted, basically telling her to go eat a dick. Because for one, it's funny. And two, I kind of wanted to know what the hell she was going to say, knowing that it was in regards to something that pissed her off that Ed did years ago. So yeah, she basically, it's so weird. Like I said before, sexual Puritans. Like half of her stuff is obscene sexual material, right? But then she's going to call out somebody else for what? Sexual harassment, inappropriate sexual behavior. Like posting demon dicks on Twitter is acceptable? Like, I don't get it. The rules don't apply to them. That's how they think of these things. So anyways, keep on typing.